Coming up on this episode of DL Weekly, Imagineering is lifting the curtain with multiple videos about their process. A 70th anniversary special is coming to ABC this weekend.
Some fiery issues at Disneyland this week. Something could be coming to raise tickets and parking at the resort. Some new D23 Fan Event details. We finish our talk with River and Kaden and more. DL Weekly starts now.
Ahoy there, Weekly Tears! For your safety, remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast. And watch your children. And no flash pictures. Prepare to make sail!
Hello and welcome to this episode of DL Weekly for the week of September 17th, 2025. I'm Teresa Urban.
And I'm Teg Bushman. We would like to thank everyone who supports the show, but we would like to give a special shout out this week to Sherry M., Eric M., Lauren L., and Sammy B. for continuing to support the show. If you'd like to help support the show and get ad-free versions of each episode, we're coming up on starting the next book club, so if you want to get involved with that.
The book choice for this current book club is Disney Adults Exploring and Falling in Love with a Magical Subculture.
Yes, so I actually got this. It's on audiobook, or you can get a paper book, depending on how you want to experience it. And so we're going to have our first meeting on the 28th. Of this month, I believe. 28th. So if you want to be involved in the book club, you have until the 28th to get in on the first meeting of us talking about it. Keep that in mind. And if you're already a supporter, that's the book. And if you want to join the Discord and get in on the Zoom call for us doing that, you can do that as well. You also get access to our supporter-only chat, bunch of other perks. Head on over to dlweekly.net/support and become an official weekly tier.
Now let's get to the news.
Extra, extra! Read all about it! DL Weekly reports from intrepid correspondents Tag and Teresa. You heard it here first, ladies and gents. Breaking news!
The 70th anniversary of Disneyland continues with a special airing on ABC this Sunday. The Happiest Story on Earth, celebrating 70 magical years of Disneyland, a special edition of 2020 will cover the magic that it took to make Disneyland what it is today. The star-studded lineup will feature stories ranging from visiting Disneyland with Walt to childhood memories and more. This special airs Sunday, September 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC, with streaming the next day on Hulu and Disney+.
Which I'm glad about, because we will be in Marceline this weekend and not be
celebrating
able to see this live.
Other Disney
it's
things.
It's true. But yeah, did you know? Okay, so totally weird thing that has nothing to do really with the show.
Oh boy,
this is a CG version of the castle for this thing.
Yeah,
because if you look at it, I'm like, that's not an actual picture of the castle.
It's like skinnied up a little bit.
Yeah, it's very. I don't know. I find that it was strange that they did that. But anyway, I'm very excited for this. You found this. You posted it in our chat earlier. Yeah. And I was like, ooh, another cool thing to watch. And 2020 does a great job reporting stuff. So I'm really excited to see Neil Patrick Harris, Jamie Lee Curtis, Jon Favreau, Patrick Warburton, and
let's see, Julie
Tiffany
Andrews, Josh Gad.
Yeah.
Prince Harry.
And Meghan.
Look at that. Imagineer Bob Gurr.
Yeah. So
look at that.
Lots of stuff about the park. Definitely don't want to miss out. Are you excited for this one?
I am very excited about this, and like you, probably even more excited that it's coming to the streaming services the day after. So if you're not able to make the live showing of it, you don't have to like wait a while to be able to see it, or you don't have to somehow try and figure out how to record it or watch it via like YouTube segments or something. They're making it easy for us to watch if we're not able to be there the day of. I love it.
I love it too. I'm excited. I'm glad that they're doing something. And this kind of brings attention to Disneyland on like a national scale, which I think is really cool.
Very cool.
Well, have you ever wanted to know all the little details that make up the Disney castles all around the world? Well, if so, the latest episode of We Call It Imagineering is for you. In the latest episode, Imagineers talk about all the details that make the castles the icons that they are. There's an accompanying Disney Parks blog post that also talks about the unique elements of the castles. To watch the latest episode, head on over to the link in our show notes.
I think this is so fun because they talk about all of the current castles and some of the evolutions that some of the current castles have gone through over the years. But then they also start talking about the castle that they're currently designing for the new park in Abu Dhabi. So then it's like castles like past, present, and future almost.
Yeah.
I'm curious because there is some stuff that I have seen about. I feel like we're very well versed in the Disneyland castle history. I'm not as well versed in all of the other parks' castle history, so I'm very curious to learn more about each park's castle. And I just love that they're all different and unique. That didn't used to be the case. Disneyland's castle used to reside in Disneyland and in Hong Kong, but they have done extra stuff. Plus is like not even enough of a word to describe what they did, because it was well over plussing. You can barely see, if you ever see the Hong Kong castle, you can barely see, if you really look, you can see where the original Disneyland Sleeping Beauty castle is, but then you can see everything that they built up and around it. And there's storytelling behind each of these castles and design elements too. So I'm very, very much looking forward to it. I lied. Cinderella's castle is duplicated because it's in World and Tokyo.
But not. Did you watch the video?
No.
So it looks the same.
Yeah.
But
there's different.
One of them is shorter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like they're not the same dimensions.
Got it.
And I was I thought they were literally identical.
They were the same. Yep. I thought they were. Well, look at that. Learning new stuff already.
Plus, like this. Go visit the link in our show notes. There is a picture of Disneyland Paris with the castle that's there that's beautiful in the snow.
That is a Disney bucket list. Like that is like gold standard Disney bucket list item for me, because
snow at Disneyland Paris.
Yes, because you can't I feel like a lot of other things you can kind of somewhat control. Mm-hmm. That it would be pure chance to be there at the right day with the right weather conditions. But I would love to see snow at a Disney park. Real snow, not Snope.
Yeah.
I would love it.
Do you know something I miss with Sleeping Beauty Castle? And they didn't talk about it in the video, but seeing older photos reminds me of this. They used to have ivy growing on it.
Yeah.
But I understand why they don't, because obviously that's going to deteriorate the materials and stuff faster. But it did when Walt was there, it was there. There's a picture on the link in our show notes as well.
I feel like they could have something like a trellis or something in front of the castle to make it appear that it's growing.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Or wires or something. I don't know.
But we can go down that rabbit hole, because we could say I also miss the geese in the moat, because there used to be geese in the moat that was or swans or something. They were white.
I'm gonna.
I think they were swans. Now that I say that,
double triple up you here. The fountains. I'm so sad that the Disney 100 fountains did not
what the
stay.
heck?
I'm so that felt like an easy thing for them to have kept there, and it was so beautiful, and it really. I didn't realize how much I truly loved them until this year that we've gone.
You
and
don't
they're not
know what
there.
you got
and
till it's gone.
Oh man! I mean, I thought they were great and magical, but now I extra miss it.
Also, the fact that there is, for the first time, a castle technically on one of the Disney cruise ships.
A castle at sea.
Yeah, so that'll be cool.
Tom Morrow 2.0 is back with another Imagineer That. On the latest episode, they talk about how do Imagineers make mountains. So you can watch the other one about how Imagineers make castles. And now we can also learn about mountains. From what kind of mountain they are making through the model and design phase, all the way through to construction and opening for guests. If that's a topic that sounds interesting to you, check it out at the link in our show notes.
Yeah, so this is cool because they go and talk to a person who is responsible for rockwork design and engineering manager.
Oh.
And she talks about all the different steps that are required from basically concept all the way through to you see it as a guest.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of steps in between all of that. And so it's really cool because she talks about how different it is to make something like the Matterhorn, which really exists and you're trying to mimic a real thing, to something like the floating mountains of Pandora,
Sure.
which is not real.
Or Pride Rock.
Yeah. So, and then all the different sculptors. I feel that the rock artisans, if you will, of Imagineering do not get enough credit.
No, but I think that also speaks to the volume of their art, because people don't they make it so believable that people genuinely don't it doesn't even cross their mind oh, that's just a hunk of concrete that was painted and chiseled to look like this. No. It does such a good job of suspending reality and belief that you don't even really realize it, which I think's a huge testament to how great of a job they do.
And they talk about things too, about how she mentioned specifically that the rocks and mountains that they create are not just rocks and mountains. They have to integrate lighting.
Yeah.
They have to integrate speakers. They have to integrate the ability to be able to do things like projections and stuff on them. So all of those things have to be taken into account. So again, this one's really short. It's only 3 minutes long, but they pack a lot of information in that little video. So
watching this now, I did not watch any of the like little things that Tom Morrow did before, like Tom Morrow 2.0, the original. I didn't watch any of that. I didn't like when they first introduced him. For some reason, I didn't realize how tiny he was until now. Watching there, and he's so cute. I think because he was like sitting in at his desk, so I didn't. This one, he's with like people.
Well, then that last one, he was with somebody for a little bit of it too. What's interesting to me? Okay, so magic spoilers, I guess. I just wonder the production, because he interviews the Imagineer, so the Imagineer is like talking to him, and so I have to imagine like kind of the awkwardness of talking. I don't know. Maybe you just suspend your disbelief.
If you work for Disney, I'm sure you're like, yeah, this makes total sense.
This is just another Tuesday.
This little robot dude.
Yeah. Just another Tuesday, I guess.
Exactly.
This next story makes me sad, but happy at the same time because of the outcome. Viewers of the Paint the Night Parade at Disneyland got more than they bargained for last week. As the Little Mermaid float made its way towards the hub from It's a Small World, it had a power issue and stopped on the route. As it was being towed backstage through the hub, a complication with the brakes led to visible smoke coming in from the vehicle. Guests and performers were moved away from the area, and the Disneyland Fire Department was able to extinguish, what was causing the smoke. The Little Mermaid unit was thankfully back in the parade the next evening.
I feel like that part's the craziest part to me about this, is that it had this issue, but they were able to get it resolved, and it was in the parade the next night. The other thing that's poor Paint the Night's having a tough go recently, because the Mack truck, the giant red truck from the Cars unit, the DJ on the back of the truck is missing. Supposedly something happened backstage and damage was done to the figure, so it's been removed. He's getting his, I don't know, tune up.
He's getting his body work done.
Yeah, he's getting some body work. He's gone to see Ramon. But I just feel sad.
Well, they must have been concerned, though, because later that night, they ran the parade again, like later that night. It did not have that. It didn't have the Mickey float, and then like something else it didn't have either. So it was just kind of... But so this scared me because I was like, great, like not the best parade ever.
Not Paint the Night.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess not to say that this was acceptable, but it is one of those things that you have to Paint the Night was in storage for a long time. It's
also a very complex system that they're working through, and so like, is it possible that something like what really first started it wasn't like the fire. From our understanding, it wasn't a fire or something that caused it to have a problem. What it was it had an electrical issue, so it stopped and turned off. And then as they were towing it, it sounds like the brakes were engaged, and so it was like rubbing, and then like, of course, when you rub something, you get heat. And so they cooled it down, and then they were able to disengage the brakes and then pull it off. The interesting thing from this story that I thought would have been kind of interesting to be there is they parked it in the middle of the parade route, and they routed the parade the opposite side of the hub, which they never do. So I'm like, that would have been kind of neat to be there to see, like, the parade never goes on this side of the hub.
That was pretty good thinking on their feet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they have contingency plans for all this stuff.
Yeah. Well, another issue cropped up on Main Street the next day. The Emporium, Candy Palace, and Carnation Cafe were all briefly closed due to a fire alarm. Guests were evacuated from the spaces and allowed back in a while later. Carnation Cafe opened after Emporium and Candy Palace. No official word yet on what caused the issue.
Yeah, so
I think
what a fire situation.
Yeah, I think speculation was that there was maybe something in the kitchen or something, but nothing official. But yeah, that fire department's getting their work out.
What is yeah.
Well, let's move on to some non-fire related news, shall we?
Sure. not that it's necessarily good news. But Disneyland, the Honda Center, and Angels tickets could be going up. A member on the Anaheim City Council proposed exploring an entertainment tax. Currently, the city only gets tax revenue from hotel stays, but not from park or event tickets and parking. The city council is looking to add this to the ballot for November 2026 and let the residents decide if they want to collect this because they think it could like bring in a lot of money for the city.
It would, yeah. Could you imagine? I'm sure it would be a huge boost in revenue for the city. Selfishly, though, I don't want ticket prices to go up even more.
Yeah.
And we know that they go up every year historically just because of Disney increasing their prices. So we might get like a double whammy and have ticket prices go up twice. And then that also means things like your magic keys are going up, parking. Yeah. I do hope, my one hope is if they do this, I hope that they try and keep it so that tax is included. So it's not like, here's your price. Oh, but then after tax, it's actually this. Like, it's just, to me, it's always easier when the tax is included and you don't have to like have two prices, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So they're looking at a 2% tax, and they said it'll bring in $55 to $80 million annually, just that 2%. So that just shows you how much.
Some history about this that I forgot about, but Tag pulled the article back up, was in 2015, the Anaheim City Council actually extended a 30-year ban on gate taxes that was established back in the 90s. However, Disney requested the extension to be revoked in 2018, which makes sense because I remember that's when we started with the podcast. There was a lot of tension between Disneyland and the city of Anaheim, and so they requested that it be revoked, trying to like ease tension between them and the city, because that's back when they were doing what was not Project Stardust. What were they calling that?
Well,
Eastern Gateway Project,
right? But then they were because then they didn't want to approve that, and then they were going to build the new hotel, and then they decided not to do that. Like it was, and then Disney was
very turmoil,
kind of being spatty with like whatever, and then I think we were in the middle of some of that, and then COVID happened, and I think then like that kind of just disappeared as an issue.
Yes. Because
they realized, when everything has to shut down.
Yeah, exactly. So, but so that was kind of the interesting history on it. So it's not like this is necessarily new.
Yeah.
It's not a new concept, but it has been brought back up recently.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of tickets, a new ticket deal is being promoted through email, but only to select potential guests. The ticket deal requires a PIN to purchase, which is included in the email. And we're not talking like collectible, enamel Disney pins. We're talking like a 4-digit code type PIN. The email is not being sent to everyone, however, just a group of select email addresses. No indication on what qualifies someone to get this promotion, but it is out there. The deal is for 1, 2, and 3 day park hoppers, starting for as low as $139, valid from September 10th through December 12th.
What an interesting... So, only related to this conversation because it was a price thing, there is a subscription service that I pay for.
Okay.
That... Last night when I was getting ready for bed, I was reading about that there's a bunch of people who subscribe to this. It's for software. And everybody was saying when you go to the website for it, depending on what browser you were in, what device you were on, they were all getting totally different numbers for the price. And so they're like, they must be like A/B testing, like testing to see like, okay, if we raise the price to this or if we lower the price to that, like what's going to be like the thing. So I get this feeling that like Disney's kind of doing something like that, where it's coming down to like, we're going to kind of test the waters with this and see, because we know we're going to send it out to, let's just say like 10,000 people. And how many of those 10,000 people end up buying tickets because of this at this rate? So, it's a marketing technique, right? Like to figure out like what you want to charge or pay and all of that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. I will say I have not received this email. Tag has not received this email, so we don't have any personal experience with it. But folks that we do know that have received this email, it doesn't seem like it's limited to, just Southern California residents. It doesn't seem like it's limited to just people that are out of state. I do suspect that it is probably targeted at people that they see purchase park tickets on their visit and not folks that are purchasing magic keys. I do think that might be something we can for sure say. But yeah, it does say, so we do have a copy of the letter because of course the internet exists and someone shared theirs. So you may purchase up to 5 tickets per transaction with no more than a total of 3 transactions per pin. So if you do have a family that's larger than 5, or if you're going to go with a group, you can get up to 15 tickets per pin, but the pins are unique. So you probably won't see like, if you go onto like, I don't know, some coupon code website, you're probably not going to be able to find this pin. But if you do know someone that was offered this ticket deal, perhaps you might be able to join their party and take advantage of it. I will say, as someone that is a travel planner and does help people plan Disney trips. This is not something that even the travel planners have access to. This was a very targeted promotion from Disney to potential guests. So hopefully you received your Disneyland ticket offer via email. Otherwise, there's no other way that we know of now to take advantage of this offer.
I love marketing stuff sometimes. So we're looking at a screenshot. It's linked in the show notes if you want to look at it. There's this part of the upper part of the email that's talking about the ticket offer. And it says, 1-day park hopper ticket, $139, savings of up to $140. And I'm like, okay. And then in the fine print, 1-day savings based on the non-discounted price of a tier 6, which is the most expensive day, adult park hopper ticket. So yes, if you were to buy the most expensive park hopper ticket, it would be $139 plus $140, whatever that ends up being. But it's $139 because they don't care what, like, this is just the price. And it's any time between the 10th of September and the 12th of December. So
no. The 10th of September to the 12th of December.
Yes. So anyway, interesting tidbit. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see if they do more like targeted things like this with pins and stuff in the future. I guess we'll have to see like how popular it is for them, right?
Exactly.
Well, from now until August, we'll be next August. So like not just
2026.
Yes. We will be getting more and more details about the D23 Ultimate Fan Event taking place at the Anaheim Convention Center next August 14th through the 16th. Well, the first major news is that the Collectors Emporium, where smaller collectors and vendors were located, will not be part of the event.
This is very curious to me. So I first heard about this through our friends over at the Sweep Spot because they had a booth at many expos and sold their books. Other people that I want to say that we'd seen back there were like Mice Chat would have a booth. Garner Holt Productions had a booth. You also had different artists that were...
And authors and stuff,
artists and authors, but I'd say like artists that were pretty, like more like fine arts kind of stuff that had booths over there. You also had a lot of like, I guess I'm going to call them like resellers that they had Disney merchandise that they were, selling, official Disney stuff that they were selling. So there's all sorts of different stuff. We also had like, Disneyana, the fan club had like a booth that they were promoting their club and their event. So there's, it wasn't just like if you're a collector, go head on over there. You never knew who you were going to bump into over there. It was a really unique collection of things. And that's what I really enjoyed about it. Bob Gurr had a booth and you could do like little meet and greets with Bob Gurr, all sorts of different fun stuff. Yeah. But so it's sad to me that they're getting rid of it. I suspect, we don't know anything for sure, but I suspect it's just a simple issue of space. Because think of last year. Remember how they like, it was last year, how they expanded so far out that some parts of like going to see stuff was like you felt like you were like in a different building and stuff like that because they had everything so spread out. And I'm guessing they probably have more stuff that they're trying to get in there, or maybe the show floor places need bigger footprints for what they're doing or whatever. But, it's the same issue as Disneyland. Space is limited. So unfortunately, this was something that didn't make it for this coming year. And it makes me very, very sad.
Yeah. The positive upside, if you wanted to say, would be that there are still outlets like the Disneyana show and sale that like, if you still want to scratch that itch, of course, they're not getting the wide viewership of like the massive, like the mainstream Disney machine, if you will, but you could still like go and see, and we've talked about that a lot, how like the D23 Ultimate Fan Event is really great at certain things, bringing like tons of the Disney company to something and having access, but smaller things like Disneyana, Pacific Northwest Mouse Meet, those are better for like getting access to the people and having a more intimate thing. Mm-hmm. So you kind of have trade-offs. It is sad for those vendors, for sure. I'm going to miss seeing people that we're friends with that have booths and stuff there. Because, like, they did pretty good. Like, they'd sell a lot of books or they'd get a lot of notoriety.
And I always just thought it was interesting because I'm thinking of, like, some of the stuff that you'd see over there, too. So, like, there was some...
Well, the castle turret or whatever was over there.
Yeah, there was, like, some of the crazy things. It was almost... Some of the booths were almost like museums. Yeah. And it wasn't just like, I don't know, pins and lounge fights and stuff like that. Garner Holtz, he had all sorts of animatronics displays that were set up that were doing stuff. So that was really cool to kind of get a sneak peek behind the inner workings to see how animatronics worked, and like being that up close with animatronics to see all the different like facial movements and stuff. So it was just different. And I get it, because the D23 Ultimate Fan Event can't, as much as it wants to be all of the things, it just can't, because it's just so large. But that's a great point. It's, there's still avenues for these those types of experiences out there. You just aren't going to be able to have a taste of it like you did at the expo. It would be cool if, I'm just going to throw this out here, maybe somebody's listening, but like, what if they moved the collector expo thing out of the convention center and moved it like to the Disneyland Hotel ballroom or something like that? I don't know, like, would people still go and experience it since it's detached? I don't know.
That's tough, because it was already hard. So once they moved them, like last year when they moved them to that thing, we already saw there was quite a dip. Just because they used to be kind of more central, actually. Like they were kind of like, you were walking along, there's like, the giant Disney Plus booth, and then like right across the way, you're like, oh, there's a row of vendors, the collector people. And this last time it was like in the far corner.
Was what it was called.
Yeah, in the far corner. Yeah. Like, you're kind of tired by the time you get over there, and you're like, the line for like the one venue was like right there by it. Like, so like maybe it'd be something cool to look at while you were trying to kill time waiting in your like standby queue. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's difficult, and I think there's so much at the D23 Ultimate Fan Event that it's so hard to see all of it anyway, that like, I don't know. Like, one thing I do think that might be a net positive too is like our friends Lynn and Ken from the Sweet Spot. Like, they used to have part of a booth there too, but they were always talking about how like they don't really get an opportunity very well to like go actually experience the event. So now if they want to, they don't have to be pinned in a booth. They can just buy a ticket and go experience it like everybody else. And like, maybe they don't do 3 days, but maybe they just do like 1 day and they kind of get that fixed. So it could be good. I'm trying to look on like the bright side. Like, it is devastating, and I think it's like, I'm curious to see what Disney utilizes that space for.
Sure, yeah.
But we won't know till next year.
Well, Halloween time at Disneyland is in full swing, which means we can talk about Christmas. Disneyland's Candlelight Processional will take place on December 6th and 7th this year. As a reminder, if you want to attend this event, get to the parks early to stake out your spot, because it is first come, first serve, and it is, think of like the parades, how you just kind of have to stake out your little piece of sidewalk real estate. You know those days where you're waiting to get like Oogie Boogie Bash tickets or D23 tickets or whatever, and you're like, everybody's waiting to just get in that virtual queue? It's kind of like that. It's very competitive for like the limited amount of space that's there. So definitely, I could not find on our website. Maybe you have a better memory than I do. We had Weekly Tiers talk about their experience. I could not find what episode that was. Let me find it for you. We had Patrice come on and talk about her experience. Patrice! Yes. For some reason, I thought it was somebody else. And so I looked up Candlelight Processional, but like we've talked about Candlelight a bajillion times. So hopefully Patrice. So is it? Yeah, it's got to be that one, right? Discussion topic. Yep, there it is. Candlelight Processional. So that is episode 266. We will link that in the show notes. Good episode, because we also talked about our time at the Disney Studio, our first time at the Disney Studios, and we went over and got to see a little bit of the Imagineering campus as well. So what a great episode. What a great throwback episode to go listen to. Episode 266, also linked in our show notes now as well. Perfect.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Skins, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. With Shop Pay, that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts are going abandoned and way more sales happening happening. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whatever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Skins uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
I am Groot.
What do you mean you're hungry? Kraglin needs those pots for the rehydrator. We don't have time for snacks.
I am Groot.
Were you talking to Tag and Teresa again? How'd they even get a hold of you?
I am Groot.
Fine. One snack. That's it.
I am Groot.
No, I haven't seen any churros. You gotta talk to Vern. And stop smiling.
Well, this week for Snack Chat, this is the last location that we have.
Isn't that not wild?
In the two parks.
We're going to have to get creative for Snack Chat
We're
from
gonna
now
have to
on.
figure out some stuff. But the last place, can anybody guess it? Could you have guessed this, by the way, before you say what it is?
I don't think I would have, because I would have assumed we already did this since it's near the entrance of the park.
I was thinking about that too, because I was like, wait a minute. And so I looked back. We did not talk about this.
Sure.
Because we came in the park and we went down Hollywood Boulevard. We went through everything that way and we zipped around. And then when we got to the Corn Dog Castle stuff, we went back around through Pixar Pier. So I, of course, am talking about Smoke Jumper's Grill, which I think we probably, I don't know, maybe I won't throw you into it, but like I definitely feel that I personally underrate this place. Like I never think to go there.
We don't, you're right. We don't think to go there. I think to go there more often than not because they will have fun drinks and they have a cold brew there now too. They did recently open up breakfast like within the last year or two, so that was pretty exciting, so that there's another quick grab and go breakfast option. So we'll start with breakfast at first. So breakfast fun things you can get at Smoke Jumpers: French toast sticks with powdered sugar, berries, and maple syrup. They also have a breakfast sandwich and a classic breakfast burrito, and for our plant-based friends, a chorizo burger.
Didn't we have a chorizo burrito?
A chorizo burrito.
That's hard to say together.
I don't
chorizo
know
burrito.
why. I don't know why.
What did we try of this? Did we try the...
You tried something. I don't remember.
I think I tried the classic breakfast burrito.
I think you did too.
Yeah.
I think you got the... You know what? I think you actually got... I think you either got it twice or we for sure went twice that trip, and you may have gotten the burrito one time and the sandwich the other time.
Sure. That sounds like something.
But I was all excited because they had a cold brew at the time, which they do still have cold brews. However, right now it is one of the seasonal cold brews. It's a Bear Paw Basin cold brew, which is a pecan cold brew, salted maple cold foam caramel drizzle with waffle pieces.
I don't think that is... I think that's on their normal menu now because the seasonal offerings at the top of the screen do not include that.
I don't know because it was on the foodie guide.
I think it might just be something new. I don't know. We don't know.
But
There's
it's there.
A ton of cool seasonal offerings. But moving to lunch and dinner, they have the featured taste is a fried pickles with buffalo ranch. Don't you like fried pickles?
Yes, that was on our list. We were going to try and get it during our last two trips. We never went to DCA when we were there for the 17th because we were there celebrating
Right.
Disneyland. But we didn't do it in our spring trip either because it was hot.
Yeah.
And we kept, every time we were over there, we're like, oh, fried pickles just does not sound good right now because it was really warm out.
So the classic entrees are a buffalo chicken loaded onion rings, which are topped with buffalo chicken, blue cheese, ranch, carrot ribbons, and green onions.
Oh.
There's a double cheeseburger, which has lettuce, tomato, cheddar, pickles, grilled onion, and a SJG, so Smoke Jumper Grill burger sauce, served with crinkle cut fries, and a grilled chicken sandwich, which is chicken breast, smoked provolone, green chili, roasted garlic, citrus aioli, lettuce and tomato served with crinkle cut fries.
Ooh, that sounds real good. Okay. There's also a Chipotle barbecue bacon double cheeseburger that has provolone bacon, lettuce, pickles, onion rings. Ooh, onion rings. And Chipotle barbecue sauce with crinkle cut fries, a spicy chicken sandwich, hand-breaded chicken, spicy chipotle sauce, lettuce and pickles, served, of course, with fries, and chicken tenders with, you guessed it, fries.
And for their plant-based offering, they have a double Impossible cheeseburger, which has all the same stuff that the regular cheeseburger has and comes with fries or Cuties Mandarin Oranges.
But it also has a dairy-free cheddar.
Oh, there you go. You can also order sides of onion rings, Baby Bell snack cheese 3-pack, or crinkle cut fries. And for the kids' meal, there's a double base camp burger, which is a double beef patty slider with mandarin oranges, a yogurt smoothie, and a choice of a small low-fat milk or Dasani water.
Or chicken tenders.
Or chicken tenders, that's true.
They do have some dessert options there, which are all shakes. We have a chocolate shake, a vanilla shake, and I'm assuming this is seasonal right now because it's called a Boo Berry Shake, which is a blackberry shake with whipped cream, chocolate cookie dust, orange sprinkles, and fresh berries.
I kind of want this. This sounds good.
They also have, since we are in DCA, there's also some adult beverages that you can try as well. I'm just going to highlight a couple that sound extra. Okay, this is always there. They have a frozen Coca-Cola that you can get with Captain Morgan rum. So you can get like a rum and Coke slushy.
Yeah.
Or you can do it with Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey instead, but they do have like a frozen Coke. I think that's super fun. There's a green apple lemonade cocktail, which is vodka with green apple lemonade, cherry flavored, popping spheres, and raspberry sauce. I do believe they also have that green apple lemonade as a non-alcoholic fun drink as well. And there's a caramel pecan Irish cream cold brew cocktail. Say that 10 times fast. Irish cream liqueur, pecan cold brew, salted maple cold foam, caramel drizzle, and waffle pieces. So it's that bear paw base and cold brew with a kick.
Yes.
So
smoke jumpers. We need to go there.
Smoke. Is that the new tagline for smoke jumpers?
No, I'm
smoke
saying
jumpers. We need to go there.
I'm just saying, like, it's something that I think we pass a lot.
I think we pass a lot because when I think of it, and there's other locations too that it just comes to mind. It's like, oh, it's burgers and burgers. It's like a burgers and fries thing, and that's not.
It's kind of like Galactic Grill, where we're like, yeah, it's a burger, or like a Paleo Pizza Plant. It's like, pizza.
Yeah, like it doesn't. I don't know. I think because it's a more of a. I don't want to say basic menu, but to me, it's just a little bit of less exciting.
Like theme park food.
Yeah. But that's not true, as we just were reading through. Like, come on, buffalo chicken, loaded onion rings.
It's got a bad rap.
Like the grilled chicken sandwich, that sounds delicious with the green chilies and the roasted garlic citrus aioli. So we gotta give it a go for sure.
If you're going to be at the Disneyland Resort Sunday, October 19th, come and meet us and other weekly tiers. We will be at the covered seating area just outside the D-Lander shop in downtown Disney by the Downtown Disney Live stage. We'll be there from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Stop by and get yourself a little something that you will only get by meeting us in person. We hope to see as many of you there as possible once again Sunday, October 19th by the D-Lander shop in downtown Disney from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
And fun bonus, the producers will both be with us. So James and Vern will also be there. And I know that they are very excited to see some of your wonderful smiling faces as well.
They tell us that you want to see them more than you want to see us. So prove them right, I guess, maybe, and come. And if you can prove them
right or you can prove them wrong, whichever you feel.
And if you've been to a meetup before and they weren't there, come back. Mm-hmm. In fact, you can come back anyway, whether they're there or not. But like, come to this one so you can meet them. They're super cool people. If you like them with Trivia Land, you'll definitely love them in person as well. You can ask Vern. Well, I guess at that point, maybe he hadn't had a bunch of churros at that point.
Who knows? Because it's our first day in the park. So
That's true.
Sure he would have had at least one.
Yeah, you can converse with Churro. You converse with Churro about Verns.
You converse.
Yeah, you can converse with Vern about churros.
There you go.
It'll be wonderful. We hope to see you all there.
I hope to be at least one cold brew in by that point too.
Wow.
How many pickles will you be having by that point?
I don't know.
Since we now,
it depends how
I've
hot it
realized
is.
we now all have our things. We're going to have to figure out what James's thing is. He doesn't really have something that he keeps gravitating
He's
towards.
so like, yeah, you would think he would too, because he's kind of like a creature of habits. You'd think he'd have something, but he's kind of, I don't know. We'll find something.
You come seeking questions and long-lost Disney information, eh? Sure, you come to the proper place, but keep a weather eye open, mates, and hold on tight with both hands, if you please. There be squalls ahead, and James and Vern waiting for them what don't answer correctly.
Welcome to Trivia Land, where we have some awesome listener-submitted questions that I think are going to test your knowledge. There was kind of a theme that I found as I was going through the questions, so I stuck with it. Are you ready for a themed night tonight?
Sure.
Let's do it.
All right, let's see how you do. Your first listener-submitted question. This one, not actually part of the theme, but still a good question. From listener Devin D.
We're off to a great start.
In Disneyland, where are all the service animal relief gates, a.k.a. poop gates, located?
There's one back by Galaxy's Edge.
The new one back by Galaxy's Edge. There's one up by Jolly Holiday. I want to say that there's one kind of...
Like along the gate there? Like the fence in Jolly Holiday? Okay.
Well, like, there's a grassy area in front of Jolly Holiday.
Okay.
So it's like Jolly Holiday walkway.
Oh, like
then,
one of the, like...
where the trees...
Okay,
yeah.
Yep, okay.
One of those spots. I think there's also one kind of over by, like, Pixie Hollow, like, up over there.
Okay. I literally know of the one by Galaxy's Edge, and that's
there's
it.
one in front of City Hall.
Okay.
There's got to be more.
I can tell you where they were on the Disney Cruise Line, on the Dream.
Yeah.
There was only one. Royal Caribbean had one that was like, it had like wood bark in it. It was weird.
Oh, sure, yeah. I can't think of like where there, like Toontown, I can't think of one. I can't think of one in Tomorrowland. No, because there's like not like, I was thinking like over back by the Matterhorn. No. Fantasyland, I can't think of one. There's got to be more, but those are the only ones. Like that's what's coming to mind.
DCA too, Vern?
Nope, just specifically
Okay.
Disneyland.
Good, because I don't know if I could have answered.
Well, I
even
know
one for DCA.
I
mean,
just
there are.
know one for Disneyland. That's it.
Yeah.
You know all the rest.
Well, I could have made them up.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, if there's more than one, you've got it.
Under the bridge.
I'm a little
So,
concerned that
what
you
is
might
it,
be thinking of
Hungry?
just places with fake grass.
No, I've like seen the little gates.
Okay.
That's what I and like one of the one I think the one that was over by. Why can't I think of the name? I watched a dog go in and out of one.
At Jolly Holiday?
No, I don't remember if it was the Jolly Holiday. I think it was the one that was over by Pixie Hollow.
Okay. All right. I got back by Galaxy's Edge, and Tree says a bunch of other ones.
Okay, so you said Galaxy's Edge, Jolly Holiday, and I'm sorry, the rest were...
Pixie Hollow.
Yeah.
There's one by
And I think there's
City
one
Hall.
in front of City Hall.
Yeah.
All right, Pixie Hollow and City Hall. Final answers.
Yeah.
Final.
Okay. All right. Your second listener-submitted question from listener Scott M. What is the name given to the suit of armor at the beginning of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride?
Oh, it's like Sir Clinks a lot or something like that. It's something about clinking. Clinking, maybe clanking. Dang it, now I'm second guessing myself. I'm gonna say clinks. Clinks a lot. Sir Clinks a lot.
I'll jump on your steed for that one.
My mighty steed.
Yeah.
You'll join my round table.
Yeah.
Okay, so your answer was
Sir Clinks a lot.
Sir Clinks-a-Lot. You decided on that.
Yes.
Okay. Your third regular round question. You might notice a trend going here from listener Kavei S. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride description reads, take a wild blank in a motor car, careening through the blank nighttime streets of London to nowhere in blank.
Particular.
Particular is the last one.
Okay.
Reread it again.
Just the first part to the first.
Take a wild blank.
It's got to be ride. Take a wild ride.
Take a wild blank in a motor car,
Yeah, we'll say ride.
careening through the blank nighttime streets of London to nowhere in blank.
The wild.
The blank streets of London.
The blank streets of London.
Busy.
Busy streets of London?
I'm gonna
Sure.
say busy.
So
Ride,
you're-
busy, particular.
So
Ride,
your
busy,
final
particular.
answer is take a wild ride in a motor car, careening through the busy nighttime streets of London to nowhere in particular.
Yes.
I mean, sounds
Okay.
good.
I mean, those are definitely words that could work in those sentences.
They are words.
I'm very confident with probably
Particular.
two. Yeah, particular. I'm like 1,000% sure.
Yeah.
And your fourth and final regular round question. We're going to leave California and bop over to Florida.
Well, I'm sorry, this automatically disqualifies.
Sorry, this comes from listener Jacob B. Where did Mr. Toad's Wild Ride exist in Disney World? Where can you still find Mr. Toad on that ride? And what is he doing in that cameo?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask a totally different question.
Yeah.
It's where Winnie the Pooh is.
Winnie the Pooh. I don't know what he's doing in that ride, but there's a tombstone for him over at the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Or he's in the pet cemetery, or like it's the little
Yeah.
Toad's figure that would have been at the top of the building. What is he? I didn't know. Wow, I'm curious. I'm real curious to know what he's doing or where you can find him in Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so you're saying that it got replaced by Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, but you don't know what the cameo is.
No.
Correct.
But
we
you
gave
can
you
also find him at the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, we gave you extra stuff you didn't ask about.
Yep.
Okay.
We gave you a bonus you didn't even know you wanted.
Okay.
It's pretty good for us for a Disney World question.
And a bonus question tonight from listeners Jonathan and Shanna. How many screens entertain guests in the lobby of the Animation Academy /Turtle Talk /Character Close-Up?
Somebody counted?
Wow.
So it's as you're sitting in the lobby area, and on a hot day, you're enjoying the air conditioning, and you're waiting to get called in for Animation Academy, or for Turtle Talk, or for Character Close-Up, and you're looking up at all those screens that are doing the various different scenes from movies, or doing whatever they're doing on those screens. How many total screens are you looking at?
No, but the first number that popped in my head, I'm just going to go with, which was 17.
Oh, that's weird, because I mentally looked around the room, and I thought I could think of 16.
Well, if one of us,
but I bumped up to 18.
If one of us could mentally look around the room and be accurate, it's probably you.
Well,
because you love
I know, but I second guessed myself. I thought 16, but I bumped it to 18.
It's gonna be really funny when Vern's like,
okay,
16.
you know what? I'm going to say, I'm going to go back to my mental.
16?
Yep, I'm going to go back to my mental look around the room.
Or you're going to run into the problem you normally do, which is you should have stuck with the first answer and then you changed it. Yeah.
Okay, so Tag's saying 17 and Teresa's saying 16?
Yeah.
Or 18?
I don't know.
16.
16 is what I locked in, but I don't
16 is locked in. All right. Final answer.
Yep.
Well, listeners, how do you think Tag and Teresa did? How did you do listening at home? Well, if we all stick around until after the discussion, we can all find out together.
Well, this week for our discussion topic, we are continuing our conversation with River and Kaden about Lego.
When you go to Disneyland Disneyland, since this is Disneyland's version, when you go to Disneyland and now ride Pirates of the Caribbean, do you guys experience it differently now that you know so many details about every nook and cranny and, all of the different things that there is? Do you guys try and look at it from a building lens? Like, what are things that we could add, or what are things that we could do differently since you're in the space? Or do you guys still enjoy it just as like a normal attraction, like you have always enjoyed it?
I think for me, at least, I definitely notice a lot more little things, and it's like, oh, that's actually different. And also, though, once you get into this sort of nitty gritty of like building something like this, I find myself like, oh, let's look backwards right here, because I've never looked backwards. There's something right there in the dark.
Yeah. What is
like
it we
looking
can't
at
see
the
back
security cams and like, oh yeah, look, there's one right there.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely sort of different. I think we also notice a lot more about the theming and the aesthetics and like, okay, how did they really tie stuff together? I think it's a shame. I don't know. I guess I'm more interested in the original version of the ride.
Sure.
Versus the re-themes they've done for Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that the new versions of the ride have still been fine, but I think the old animatronics, there's something to be said for the way they were able to create them back then with the technology they had, and like the sound effects and all of the aspects they got for how the ride works. And I've always actually loved collecting like sound files from the park.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of tricky to get a hold of some of the sound files for the attraction, because occasionally they popped up on YouTube, but then there was a channel that like deleted all of his content that he actually had, like the harpsichord audio for the captain's cabin, and then it was just gone for like years. But eventually I was able to recollect it. But I'd say one thing that I dislike with their new theme is the auction scene. Not because of changing the tone of it or like what the meaning of the scene is, but purely because of the items that are there don't make sense. Because the town is obviously more of a poor village. They're not a British village. So it doesn't make any sense that the people who are brought there in the auction scene now, that they look like they're from a British, like, Port Royal town from Pirates of the Caribbean, and they have like a grandfather's clock. It doesn't make any sense for the actual town and location that the ride is set. I think it sort of ruins the way that the ride looks, I guess. Because now, once I've thought about it, now it's like, it's jarring.
It feels out of place now.
Yeah.
Which I can totally see that, because in the end of the day, they're trying to tell a story that makes sense. And so if you have a story that now doesn't make sense, just out of curiosity, we actually spoke with him a whole bunch of episodes ago. Have you been on DisneyChris.com? He has a ton of audio stuff from the parks.
I'm probably... I can't remember right now.
Yeah. If you haven't, when we're done, I would say go check him out, because he's got tons of like old clips like you can't even find anymore. He's got a bunch of music from the parks, like different areas of it. And he's got so much, and it's split up like for Pirates. Like he's got a whole section here that's just nuts there's some areas from the grotto scenes and the Pirate Red and the stuffed pirate scene and the arsenal scene and everything. So there's a lot of stuff on there. He's got quite the collection. I don't know how Disney doesn't come and take him down. I think we talked about the show, but just something we found that when we're looking for Disney music, that's a great place to like find that. But
I'll definitely go and look on there and see if he has stuff that I don't have, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've got like a good couple hours of audio now from Pirates that have just slowly been accumulating.
That's funny. So, Kaden, can you tell us, is there a favorite story from this build, or, something that has come of it that maybe you weren't expecting? Just kind of like a fun memory from this experience.
Fun memory from it. I definitely like building it, and I really like always the way that it looks at night. And I definitely enjoy taking it to the shows, though, that getting to talk with people who also appreciate it is always a pleasure to do, because it really gives you the motivation to keep going.
Sure.
It can be kind of grueling, especially leading up to the shows. So
don't even think we want to know how many hours the two of you have invested in this, because
we've kind of lost track, honestly.
You probably don't want to know how many hours you've invested in it either. That's crazy. Yeah. What about for you, River? Any favorite memories? I don't know, like if like BrickCon was maybe some big thing that you weren't expecting to ever get to do and you got to do this, or, any favorite memories from the experience thus far?
I think definitely going to BrickCon was, I'd never been to like a Lego convention before that.
Yeah.
I think Kaden, you went when you were younger, right?
Yeah, I did.
But I did not. And that was super cool. And actually they had a segment at that show where at night, just for like the people who were actually participating in the show, they turned off all the lights, and with models that had lights, they could actually see all the lights light up and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool.
Because definitely with this model, I'd say it looks definitely better at night with all of the lights that we've got in it and stuff. But actually, even more than that, the Pacific Northwest Mouse Meet, I think, was an even cooler show to go to. And honestly, even from being in this kind of this region where it's located, I'd never heard of it before. But then somebody actually at BrickCon was like, oh wow, yeah, they would probably really love to have this at that show. We're like, okay. And then Dawn got in touch with me and we coordinated a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was super great too.
That's so cool.
I'm going to take this opportunity once again because I feel like I have to every time. Don is such an amazing human being.
Very awesome.
He's been very welcoming to us and to all the people that are presented there, and of course showcase things like your Lego. So what a better guy to work with than Don. What was his, he's a very excitable person, I would say. Like, what was his reaction to seeing this for the first time?
Well, I definitely think he was pretty impressed. Obviously, before that, I'd obviously been coordinating with him for a while, so I was showing him some pictures and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
But definitely in person, it's a lot more.
Yeah.
It's a lot more impressive. But yeah, Don he's a super great guy to work with and stuff.
I don't know. I'm watching. We're on your YouTube channel now, watching different like videos that you've put out on this, and I'm like looking at this, thinking I did not spend nearly enough time at the mouse meet looking at this, because when we went, there was a huge crowd, as there should have been, around it of everyone trying to check it out. But there's just so many details.
Did you see this?
No, like right now, we didn't know that there was actual turntables for the pirates chasing the women and the women chasing the pirates scene. Like there's so many things that you guys included in this that, yeah, you could spend a lot of time sitting and like really taking in all the different details. Because if you have a favorite scene or if you have a favorite pirate from the attraction, I bet they're in here somewhere.
I gotta put this link in the show notes because this is like by far
way better.
This is the one that you just put out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
that has some pretty detailed.
Look, you even have
stuff
the dirty foot pirate hanging off the bridge right there.
Yeah. I think I took like close to a 10-minute video of the thing because I definitely wanted to take time and so that I could put it out on the internet somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, it's a 20-minute video.
It's because there's so many details.
But there's so many details, you have to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one detail nobody really noticed until we sort of brought it up, and then all of a sudden, that was at the end of the show, where basically I had the idea to hide a Donald inside of one of the windows right by the auction, or I guess the auction.
It's like a cross. It's actually in the building with like the big tower in the middle of the town.
Sure, yeah. So instead of a hidden Mickey, you have a hidden Donald.
There's a Donald duck behind one of the windows there.
I did appreciate that. We were watching. We're like, oh, look, there's Maui in.
There's a Homer.
He's like in line to get to the attraction. And like, there's all sorts of hidden other folks you might look. Spider-Man's having dinner at the Blue Bayou there's Yoda. It's Yoda's birthday, maybe, because there's a cake. Lots of fun there's just lots of different layers. You got to appreciate the build, being so correct to what the attraction is and what the, layout and all that is, and to scale, but then all of the other fun things that you've added, like hidden Donalds.
Yeah. So I feel like my question is, how much work do you think is left to do on this? Like how long do you foresee until you think like, all right, we are complete on this?
Well, the main thing is, we have to redesign the boats, and that's mostly River. He's the one who's been the 3D design master. So that once the boats are done, then we also need to just get it fully self-automated. That's the end goal, is to get this so that it can run itself.
So you guys can just walk away and enjoy.
Yeah, because we've implemented remote control into the Arduinos, so I can actually turn on like emergency lights if I want, and you can turn on and off like the lift hill and the chase scene and like those kind of stuff. You can turn it on and off, and also the ship battle cannons. And the end goal, though, is to have the Arduinos be able to sense where the boats are on the track, be able to self-automate like the lift hill and the downhill, and being able to actually coordinate where the boats are on the track so that we can, just let it go, and we can go explore the rest of the show, and we're not worried about it like flooding or doing anything wrong.
Wow.
Well, and I was going to say, there's a whole nother part of this project that we didn't even bring to the mouse meet, because I'm planning on having all of New Orleans Square also, connected to this.
Wow. Okay, you like read my mind because my next question was, are you going to what's next? Is there another attraction you have your eye on that you want to recreate?
Now, I don't know if he said he was going to do the Haunted Mansion,
no,
but
that's part of New Orleans Square.
Yeah, so I've got a fair amount of it built right now,
Holy
actually.
cow.
But I could maybe send some pictures after or something. But I've also got like the New Orleans Square station built and stuff.
Yeah.
We're planning on having the train tracks back there and stuff, and Club 33, all of that stuff.
Jeez.
He might not be done until Disneyland's complete.
Which is never. You're gonna have grandchildren, and you're gonna be like, I'm still working on it.
Kaden, are you excited to try and figure out the Omni Mover system for the Haunted Mansion and getting those little
I think
doom
that
buggies going?
That would be neat, but I don't know if we have the space. Maybe if we have someone that reaches out like, hey, I have a giant studio, you can just build Disneyland in here, then maybe we just like, oh, we'll take this attraction for this show.
There you go.
I don't know, one thing I might try and do is I'd sort of like to make a Tower of Terror, but it's obviously smaller scale, not as
it doesn't spread out as wide.
It's just taller.
Yeah. So that would also though have like fully working elevator and
see,
neon,
that would be
and
cool
everything.
to have it like go back and into the shaft and then like go up and down and then come back and that'd be so cool.
Yeah, because I actually created a paper mache model of the Tower of Terror like a while ago that was kind of larger than Lego scale, and I was making it for Playmobil actually. And I actually created a EL wire, so that's kind of, it looks like micro fluorescent light. So I actually created an authentic light up neon for the tower, and it had the flickering W that strobed, and it looked really it looked pretty neat.
What a pair, the two of you. The fact that you guys have two unique skill sets, but you're combining them together. And it's perfect, because I couldn't imagine one person trying to pull all of these things off. I can't even imagine really the two of you. I mean, clearly you've done it because I've seen it in person, but it's incredible. The amount of time and patience and
skill.
I'm sure blood, sweat, and tears that you've put into this thing. Yeah, skill for sure.
Yeah, and River's broken bank account.
Yeah, I was going to say, we probably don't even want to talk about how expensive it was to put this all together.
Lego is expensive.
It is expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all your technology with it too. I mean, Arduinos aren't too expensive, but like the lighting and stuff,
but
like it adds up.
The 3D printer.
It adds up.
That's why it's pretty neat with the custom designed lights, because I feel like a lot of people will try and gouge on pricing for lighting, which is why I've always wanted to create my own stuff.
Yeah.
Is also, I never like having battery operated things.
Sure.
Because I don't like having to do batteries. So I decided from the get-go I wanted it to be supplied by its own, plug-in wall outlet. And
with the water, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So it's all running basically off of 5-volt DC. And so pretty low voltage, and it's not going to do anything if the water gets on it. Because also all the lighting, at least so far, is actually waterproof.
Nice.
The string lights I've been buying to put into it are actually submersible. So that makes it nice. If it floods, it's like, no big deal. But the power supplies I actually created, they're 15 amp, 5-volt power supplies, because the LEDs, the addressable LEDs, the main caveat with them is they use a lot of juice, because each LED has its own microcontroller with it. Because from the Arduino side, you can basically say LED 14, I want it to flicker and I want it to be orange. And for it to actually decode that info, each LED has to have its own computer chip. And so even though they're only running on 5-volt, if you had like just from USB power, they would get drastically dimmer as you get to the end of the string. So that's why it's like you have a nice high amperage power supply to really be able to do everything.
How did you learn to do that?
YouTube videos.
Okay.
There's
the magic of the internet.
I wish I could remember the person that I found a video from first, but he was actually super knowledgeable on the different early programming stages for this one. Because with Arduino, you need libraries, is what they're called, to actually add code into your Arduino. So there's Fast LED, which is the main library used for addressable bulbs. And one of my other projects is a full-size proton pack. So I've taken that to Emerald City Comic Con, and that's pretty neat, but weighs 40 pounds, so that's also pretty heavy. But
it's accurate.
Yeah, it's accurate. There you go.
Yeah, with the lighting, it's just a lot of small tweaks, and I was able to learn a lot of things from my proton pack project. There's some other code contributors with that, whereas this is all just designed by myself, with the lighting and flickering and timed sequences and stuff. So
that's incredible.
All right. Well, I'm sure that listeners to this are going to wonder. So we'll start with River. What do you like? I'm sure you get this question a lot because young people, right? Like, what do you want to do for a living? Does it have something to do with any of this type of stuff? Do you want to build Lego? Like, do you want to work for Lego building cool stuff? Do you want to work for Lego designing stuff? Do you just want to make models? Or are you totally on a different hobby? Yeah, or are you on a totally different career path?
Well, I had considered potentially trying to get a job actually making the real sets at Lego and stuff. I haven't really gone anywhere with that, though.
There's so many cool jobs out there like that you don't think about, like when you're trying to pick jobs, but it's like that's obvious, that's somebody's job. Same thing with it blew my mind when I realized you could be like a board game creator. Obviously this exists, but
you don't think about it.
There's such cool things you can do with these things.
Yeah, definitely. But then if I don't get a job like that, I think I'll probably try and become a pilot.
So, I mean, not a bad other option, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
How about you, Kaden? It seems like you've got a bunch of different directions you could go. You could do all types of crazy stuff.
Yeah, currently I'm working a small business locally. I do computer stuff, so I end up usually replacing people's hard drives or upgrading their computer, that kind of thing. But I've actually kind of had a side gig through YouTube where my goal of creating my main YouTube channel, Kaden's Modifications, was to try and help people. So whenever I started it, my first videos were taking apart Buzz Lightyear dolls.
Oh.
And like, can I fix it? Because Thinkway, which is the main company that used to design the Buzz Lightyears for like the original movie, and then they made a new wave of Buzz Lightyears for Toy Story 3 that were like the highest accuracy you could get to the movie, with like light up wings and the actual very articulate fingers and things like that. But they had a lot of wires and stuff that would break. So my early videos were trying to take it apart and fix it. And I still get a lot of comments from people doing that. But now I've had people send me projects to fix. So Limax buildings, which is like small Halloween and Christmas village stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of little animation things and lighting that I've either redone or had to fix. And so if anyone ever has something smaller they want repaired or custom done, I offer my programming services and repair soldering stuff for that. So
well,
incredible.
that is a cool skill set to have. I'll tell you that much, because I'm one of those people that at the end I'm like, I have extra screws. I don't know where they go, even though I thought I paid attention to where I took them all out.
It's not falling over, so here we are.
Yeah.
That's why it's nice to film as you take apart stuff. If it's really complex, I always film for my own insurance. It's like, I actually have.
That's smart.
That goes.
That's very smart. So, River, did I catch you also have a YouTube channel, right? You both have channels that everyone can go check out about different stuff?
Yeah, that's right. My channel is Master Quogie's Master Builds.
Very
kind
cool.
of a long name.
That's okay.
We'll put a link in the show notes.
We'll put a link in the show notes for that. And then, Kaden, what was your channel called again?
Kaden's Modifications.
Kaden's Modifications.
And I will also put a link in the show notes for that one.
That's so stinking cool.
Well, now I'm looking at some of these, and I want to like spend time actually looking at some of the videos you have on both of these. I want to watch some more about the Pirates build, and then I see that you have you're talking about your Proton Pack. You've got some stuff about your Proton Pack on here and some other things too. So crazy.
Something else I actually did, one of my earlier Arduino projects, is I was heavily inspired by the shooting gallery in Frontierland.
Yeah.
I was like, it would be pretty neat to have a free version I can have at home that I don't have to pay to use. And one of my projects was creating this Playmobil shooting gallery. It's not actually any of the real props from Frontierland, but still some of the sound effects and things that happen when you shoot the buildings are very similar to the Frontierland shooting gallery. And so like I made a target you can shoot and the train goes around the track, and then little doors that open and sound effects that play like a gunshot and stuff like that. So many different random projects I've done on my channel.
That's very cool. River, do you have anything besides, well, I'm sure the Pirates thing takes a lot of time for building and rebuilding and modifications, but do you have anything that you've created just kind of as a fun side project for yourself?
Yeah, I've got a couple builds on there. Actually, one thing was this like custom Star Wars ship that like Lego made a version of it that was kind of small and not so good. And then I basically took 3 of that and I made a bigger one.
Oh, there you go.
People like that a lot. I've got a couple other things on my channel that I've kind of posted about also. Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Well, I mean, I think you guys are heading in the right direction. I mean, I feel like a lot of people can do a lot of cool stuff on YouTube. I also think that you guys
are this is very unique, cool stuff.
No, that's what I'm saying is like, I think you guys have an opportunity there to, that may end up being something for you too.
Yeah.
With all the stuff and, documenting all your stuff. Why not? I mean, if you're doing something cool, there's all types of people that are interested. Look at us. We love talking about Disneyland. And here we are talking to cool people like yourselves about Disneyland stuff. So, well, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about?
I'm not sure if there's much more except for, I'm definitely going to be working on this over the next year and stuff. And we hope to bring it back to the mouse meet next year, hopefully. So, and it should be bigger, better, more finished, that kind of thing.
And hopefully you guys can set it and walk away. No, just kidding.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Set it and be able to just chit chat with people and not have to kind of keep an eye, on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it always feels kind of bad because when we were there at Mouse Meet, we didn't bring enough shim stuff because like the tables weren't perfectly level.
Oh, sure.
And again, the grotto likes to flood. So we had a couple areas where we were growing puddles. And I never like having to say like, oh my gosh, there's a puddle there. I need it.
Right.
Get in here with the vacuum before it gets worse.
Yeah, you're not supposed to see that.
Yeah.
And the hotel's like, what are you doing to our carpet?
We didn't actually make any puddle on the floor though.
There you go.
That was pretty good.
We
brought our own rubber table mat to put it on top of. So all the water kind of pools on there. And then, we didn't ruin any carpet. So
that's awesome.
That is awesome.
So apart from your YouTube channels, which of course we have linked in our show notes for anyone interested to check those out, where else can people find you online to check out what things you're working on, or if there's any way that they can support your journeys?
That's kind of all I've got, actually.
Okay, that's perfect. If that's the best place for them to go, we've got the link for it.
Yeah, and my videos aren't super duper good, but I try and put in a decent effort to make them kind of nice. So
I mean, I find
not
it interesting
too unwatchable.
No, I find it interesting because that's definitely not something I could see, like just anywhere. And the fact that I saw it in person and watching your videos, I'm like, holy cow! Look at all these other things that I didn't even. So we
didn't spend nearly enough time looking at it.
No. That's what I learned with your videos was I did not spend enough time.
Well, we'll have to go back to a future mouse meet and it'll be even better.
Mine definitely most of my projects are on my main channel, but I actually have a secondary one for animatronics that I haven't posted anything on there in like a year, but that one's called Hockey's Halloween. So that's HAWKY_S Halloween. I actually created a couple custom animatronics that I could program and have them say and do whatever I want. So like I did the Tiki Room show, but it's like a couple big skeletons singing it. So it's kind of not what you'd expect.
Yeah.
And as my videos progress, my later ones are way better done than my earlier ones. I went and actually dubbed in the sound file that I used to program to. So my later videos, you can listen and watch, and it's like perfect audio quality. But I also, what sort of started that channel was I really wanted to have a Haunted Mansion-esque parlor. And I created my own dimming switches so that you can take like a regular wall dimmer, and I programmed it so that I can actually flicker incandescent bulbs like the Haunted Mansion uses. So I took a regular chandelier and I actually can dim it, and it flickers realistically like the Haunted Mansion does.
Very, very cool.
Oh.
Well, Teresa might be reaching out to have you make one of those. No, she loves the Haunted Mansion.
That's my favorite. Yes,
I'd be happy to make one of my later versions of that after I created my first dimmer. I actually made a regular wall plug-in one. So
that's neat. Yeah, that's smart.
Just plug it into the wall normally, and then you can just plug in anything into an outlet on the other end, and it flickers. Yeah.
See, once you learn a couple of these foundational skills, then like the world opens up and you can do all types of crazy
possibilities. I'm just amazed at both of your creativity and technical skills
and drive to learn it.
Yeah, and to continue with it, because again, I just can't even imagine how many hours has been hours, days, months, with years at this point that you've spent just on this one project together. So incredible.
That is pretty awesome. Well, Kaden and River, thank you guys so much for talking with us this evening. I'm sure that our listeners are just going to absolutely love hearing this story. I once again, we recommend go check out the links in the show notes to see all the cool stuff, because this really, in terms of our normal episodes, this is definitely a more visual episode that you really should be looking at these while listening to this interview, because you're going to get so much more out of it by seeing all the little details. And if you're got a YouTube account, go subscribe to these two guys, because I'm sure that they're going to keep posting cool stuff. So
definitely try and keep updating. Yeah.
So if you were to work at Disneyland and sky was the limit, you could do any job you wanted to do, even a made up one, what would you do? Kaden, we'll start with you.
I would definitely do Imagineering.
You'd be an Imagineer?
I would definitely like to create animatronics and doing the effects and stuff, but I would prefer, I guess, if I could also select a time period, I would want to definitely work more in the 60s and that kind of era, because I think they were way more, I don't know, the ingenuity of back then of like Jungle Cruise. Like, I mean, you have air powered props that are programmed to do things with like records, basically. And that kind of thing is, I guess, more fascinating to me than the modern era.
Sure. Yeah. That
I
makes
think so
total
too.
sense. River, how about you? What would you do?
That's an interesting question. I think for me, it would be cool to get a job where I could go and actually check out some of the underground rooms of pirates, maybe be somebody who like services the ride and stuff.
Oh, there you go.
That would be kind of neat.
I know it's counterintuitive, but our friends who do another podcast called The Sweep Spot, they actually were custodial cast members at Disneyland, and a lot of their stories revolve around how when you're a custodial cast member, you can kind of go anywhere, or at least back in the day when they were.
Everything needs to be cleaned.
Yeah. So they talked about how they got to go around in the back caverns, if you will, of pirates and stuff. And so I was like, man, I know nobody ever thinks they want to be custodian or custodial, but I don't know. I feel like you get a lot of opportunities that way. And who knows what it's
Yeah.
like now. I mean, they worked there 10, 15 years ago at this point, but
Yeah, even longer, but
yeah. So
very cool. Well, thank you both so much for taking the time to chat with us and talk about your amazing Pirates of the Caribbean creation, Lego creation that you've done. It's very impressive. I hope that everyone, like Tag mentioned, at least go check out the YouTube videos on it. But if you ever get a chance to see this in person, do it. And don't be like us. Take your time. Go look at it multiple times because there's so many cool things to see.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Well, you've heard us talk about our great experiences staying at the Howard Johnson in Anaheim. Well, we have partnered with them to offer our listeners some really cool discounts. Weekly tiers can get up to 15% off their stay. To take advantage of this discount, head on over to DLWeekly.net and click on the Howard Johnson logo. No promo code needed anymore.
Woo! Welcome back to Trivia Land, Shell. My name Raymond, and I hope them answers are bigger and better than this here back porch I got attached to me. Don't you know Evangeline and I wish y'all the best of luck.
Welcome back to Trivia Land, where we are going to find out the answers to tonight's questions and see how Tag and Teresa did, and of course, see how you did listening at home. Tag, Teresa, how do you feel tonight?
You know, not terrible. Not great. Not terrible.
Okay. Well, let's find out. Your first listener-submitted question from listener Devin D. In Disneyland, where are all the service animal relief gates, a.k.a. poop gates, located? You said Galaxy's Edge, Jolly Holiday, Pixie Hollow, and City Hall. The correct answer that we are looking for, from disneyland.disney.go.com and provided by listener Devin D., there are 4 of them. Bayou Country, the planter near the entrance of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree Fantasyland, the
That's the one
planter
that I got.
across from It's a Small World Main Street, USA, the planter in front of the First Aid near Plaza Inn, and Mickey's Toontown, the planter between the Toontown Post Office and the fire station.
Fail.
yeah.
I'm just noticing probably gates that the horticulture team uses.
Well, I was going to say something like that when you answered, but then I was like, no, she could be right. She probably saw somebody bring a dog in.
I did see someone bring a dog in, but no,
Well.
they were in the wrong spot.
Well, now that they have all the fake grass in a lot of places, it's difficult to know, right?
Yeah. Wow.
But don't they have like fire hydrants in there or something ridiculous? Like,
Well, the
like some
one at the
themed
Galaxy's
thing? Yeah.
Edge one does, but I don't.
It's not a
we're
real
gonna have
one,
to
it's a
pay
big one.
attention to the
Yeah.
other ones now because I don't know.
Vern, I got a little confused. What was the one with It's a Small World or something?
There's a planter across from It's a Small World on Main Street.
Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense.
Fantasyland, planter across from It's a Small World, and then Main Street, planter in front of the First Aid
Oh, okay.
near Plaza Inn.
Okay, so 2 different things.
2 different
okay,
things.
perfect.
Sorry, in the copy and paste, it became a run-on sentence.
Gotcha.
Sorry about that.
No problem. I just, my brain heard it, and I was
Yep.
like,
No, that's going from website to spreadsheet. Things
Gotcha.
got jumbled together. Your second listener-submitted question from listener Scott M. What is the name given to the suit of armor on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride? Teresa said Sir Clinks-a-Lot, and Tag jumped on the trusty steed. Is that how you put it?
yes.
Yes, all right. Well, the correct answer that I was looking for there was Sir Clinks-a-Lot.
Good job, Teresa. Glad I hopped on your steed.
Your third regular round question from listener Kavei S. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride description reads, take a wild blank in a motor car, careening through the blank nighttime streets of London to nowhere in blank. You said that it's a ride in the busy streets to nowhere in particular. The correct answer that I was looking for was a joyride in the noisy streets to nowhere in particular.
Ooh.
So we get like a half a point.
I'll give you a half point. Yeah.
Because we had ride. We just didn't have
we
joyride.
didn't have Joyride, yeah.
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 But we had particular
Yes, you were very good on particular.
noisy streets.
Which means they're also busy.
Yeah. Well, loophole there.
Your fourth and final regular round question from listener Jacob B. Popping over to Florida here. Where did Mr. Toad's Wild Ride exist in Disney World? And where can you still find Mr. Toad on that ride? And what is he doing? You answered The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And you don't know what that cameo is, but you do know that he has a cameo in the Pet Cemetery of the Haunted Mansion. The correct answer that I was looking for was, yes, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. But Mr. Toad's cameo is that he's in a portrait handing over the deed to Mr. Owl, which is perhaps implying that he passed the attraction on to the new characters.
That's sweet.
Even though people in Disney World miss Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Yes, they do.
He did it willingly, apparently.
And your bonus question tonight from listeners Jonathan and Shanna. How many screens entertain you in the lobby of the Animation Academy /Turtle Talk /Character Close-Up?
Here we go, Teresa. It's a moment of truth.
Tag said 17. Teresa said 16. The correct answer. Well, first, a personal note from the listeners. We had never done Animation Academy during our many trips here. We took DLWeekly's expert opinion, and we've done it 4 times during this trip.
Woohoo! We have converts.
There you go.
So with their listener provided answer, I'm going to trust them that they did their counting correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Tag said 17. Teresa said 16. The answer provided was 15.
Oh.
Dang, that's pretty good, though.
Very close.
See, so Disney, if you're listening, you're going to send the commission check to Teresa. Our P.O. box is on our website, DLWeekly.net. Just go ahead and send that check right on over.
Well, listeners, how did you do listening at home? How do you think Tag and Teresa did? Do you have that awesome question that you'd really like to hear us ask sometime? Well, feel free to send that in to us at DLWeekly.net/trivia.
Well, we will be back next week with more Disneyland news and information.
Until then, go out and enjoy the parks.
And a special thank you to Sidel for editing the podcast and to Andy Mack for all of the wonderful character transitions.
Please remain seated until the podcast comes to a complete stop and the doors have opened. Then collect your belongings, watch your head, and step carefully from the episode. On behalf of all of our crew, thanks for traveling with us, and we hope you have a happy and memorable visit here at DL Weekly.